Hey guys, enter the stars. Thanks for coming on this morning on such short notice. I'm going to talk for about 5 minutes as everyone assembles in, and we're going to share some shocking information regarding an architect by the name of Santiago Calatrava. We're going to expose this architect as a New World Order architect. We have proof, solid proof, through patterns that reveal the intentions of these architects and how they actually design into our landscape the future plans of the New World Order. Now, I'm not exactly sure how this comes about, if it just manifests through demonic influence, or if in fact these people are actually part of some very sick system of sacrifice. We're going to tie this architect into 9/11. We're also going to tie this architect into a possible future event, a tidal wave that will sweep over New York City. Now, I don't like to date set, but if I see the signs, I'm going to call them out. If I see the signs of the enemy, I'm going to call them out. Now, I'm going to give a couple shout outs to those of you who are able to assemble in here so far this morning. I'm going to refresh this and we're going to go ahead and get started in just a few more minutes, you guys. But basically, what I found was just impossible. It's impossible. You guys, none of the glory goes to me or this channel. The glory goes to God. He reveals these things through truth and the Holy Spirit. This is where it all comes from. This is why it's hilarious when the trolls attack and try to say that, we think we're something. We're not. We're the most humble people. We're trying to show you guys what is all around you, how the enemy is just basically working all of this reality into the script and showing us in front of our faces what they're going to do, and we fall victim to it because we simply ignore the signs. That's what's going on, you guys. So a few more of you to get in. We're going to be on here for about half an hour and then we'll get off. Shout outs to Rabies Planet, Joseph, MC Walker, Female J777, Now Away 2013. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started, you guys. This is Santiago Calatrava right here. And he actually designed his first design in the United States at the Milwaukee Transportation. Actually, this was the Milwaukee Art Museum. This was his very first design here. I'm going to zoom in on this. You're going to see the yellow line emanating out from this architecture that this man has created. And what you're going to notice is that this piece of architecture is aligned to 266 degrees. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prove to you that these architects, in fact, work their architecture into the landscape. The alignments of these architectures, of these architectural buildings, line up to the different qualities of what they're trying to portray. They're almost like sorcerers, okay? Now, again, I don't know if this is manifesting inadvertently through demonic possession and influence, or if in fact these people are actually in the know and they know exactly what they're doing. I don't know. But all I know is this building that he designed, if you look here, is in fact, this is it, Milwaukee Art Museum. This is the building, and the alignment actually matches the dimensions of this building. Wingspan of 66 meters. 66 meters and 266-degree heading. So that proves that they take note of these alignments. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, the fact that they take note of these alignments means that the alignments that they point to also have significance. Now, I'll repeat that because it's a little bit of a hard concept to grasp. But basically, the alignments of these buildings, now that we've proven that they align and relate to the actual dimensions and things of the actual building and the architecture, so they're one and the same, we also can now see where these things point. Okay. One prime example is the World Trade Center footprint, which aligns to 119 degrees. And it fell on 9/11, which is 119 backwards. They built it right into the architecture of the buildings when the buildings would fall. So let's continue along these lines because we're going to get into this pretty deep. There's more to the 66. I'm going to show that to you right now as we go down on the ground view of this building. And I'm going to show you how 666 is encoded into this building as well. We're also going to look at what this building actually is and what it's signifying. Now, the architect says that it's a dove and that these are wings, but I'm going to show you that it's something very different. Let's take a look at this building. Now, the one thing you'll notice is that this building resembles a boat. It resembles a boat. This is like the helm. And I want you to count the number of wires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 here, but it's doubled. See how they fan off here? That's 999. What is 999? It's 666. This is the mast of the boat. We have a boat cutting through the water. This is what we are looking at. This is a boat with the mast and the wires coming off the mast of a boat cutting through the water. Here is the boat. Now, why would this architect call these wings when we're clearly seeing a boat here? I'm going to do a side-by-side and show you what we're looking at, because I believe this is what is being depicted right here. This is a boat cutting through the water. Let's pull this to the side here, do a side-by-side so you guys can see what I'm seeing. And this is it. Do you see the wave pattern here coming out from underneath the front of the boat? That is the wave pattern that we're seeing depicted here. You see the helm of the boat here, the front of the boat. That's the front of the boat here. Here's the splash, the mast coming out of the back. Now this is called the Quatria building with a bridge. Let's screenshot this because this will probably be our, actually, let's do this. Let's turn this to the side. And like this, actually what we should probably do is just zoom down on here again. Get a nice side-by-side of this. And we'll screenshot this, and this will be our screenshot of what they're depicting here. So we have the 666, the wave splashing through the water, and the helm of the boat. That's probably a good shot right there. Now, what does this all mean, and how does this relate to New York City and a wave of water coming? Well, I'm going to show that to you. Let's fix this first before we move on. Now, this Milwaukee building, as I'm going to demonstrate to you, this design actually opened right before 9/11 in 2001. Now, why is that important? Because this was the very first building that this architect designed in the United States. This is the first building that this architect designed in the United States. Here's the list of his buildings that he's designed. The very first one in the United States was the Milwaukee Art Museum. This is it. It's called the Quatria building. And his last design that he's designed in the United States is a World Trade Center transportation hub, which has the exact same wall of water design. Now that we've established what this is, that this is a boat cutting through the water with a 666 staff on it, the staff or the mast of the devil, right here, the staff or mast of the devil, 999 is 666, smashing his boat, his Neptune boat through the water. Now we understand what we're looking at. You have eyes to see. You see what I'm seeing. Now this goes on because this transportation hub that he designed as well, his most recent work in the United States, opened on 11/3, which is 33. Now this is interesting because look at its future works. We covered the Florida Polytechnic University in the documentary video that I did during my visit to Florida a few videos ago. But he's also going to design the St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church. And we saw the sacrifice that happened in Lower Manhattan of the Orthodox Greek Church just weeks ago. So there you go. Now, this goes even deeper because, let's see here. This museum, the Milwaukee Art Museum, actually opened in 1888. There's our 888 number. I've demonstrated to you many times how the 88 fits into the World Trade Center story. The 88 LED lights that they light up during the memorial, the purple lights, the purple rain every year. Here's 1911, that's 9/11. In 1911, the Milwaukee Art Institute, another building constructed to hold other exhibitions and collections, was completed. And this building has a very long history, the newest addition being by Santiago Calatrava. Now, 217 feet. What does that mean? Is that 2017? The year? I don't know, but this thing looks like a boat cutting through the water with a 666 staff on it. So we're putting this architect on notice with this video. And if anything happens, people will come back and reference this video. If a wall of water oversweeps New York, we will all know what happened. And that's part of the job of the watchman. Now, this, as I said, this edition, it's called the Quatria building. Let me get that, make sure I get that right. Here it is here. And on 9/9, they did a story just before 9/11. 9/9, September 9th. His building was 66 meters. We showed you it was aligned to 266 degrees. And now on 9/9, just before 9/11, they did this story on his building. And all of these sites that I've been referencing have been acting very funny. This one wouldn't even pull up. It said the site is currently not available due to technical problems. And this was happening real time because as I tried to search these sites, many of them stopped. My computer became disconnected to the internet, from the internet, and all kinds of strange things started happening. But we have this live now, and they can't escape the truth. Now, here's the article that talks about the opening of Calatrava's building, the Quadrasi Pavilion is what it's actually called, at the Milwaukee Art Museum. The Quadrasi Pavilion, which means four, quad is four. It said it's in its opening stages and will be formally dedicated on October 14th. And this was in 2001, but it actually opened sooner. They talk about just this bizarre stuff that you wouldn't even imagine that they would be talking about Calatrava, and the spirit also has a darker side. Federico Garcia Lorca wrote that an artist must struggle with the duende, whatever that is, and the struggle to the death. And all this is in this article. Now, what's October 14th? That's, I guess, the official date, just after 9/11. And then all of a sudden, he gets awarded the transportation hub project, as it says here. Spiritual quality of his work helped Calatrava win a major commission in the wake of the September 11 terrorist attacks. So this architect was worked into the World Trade Center story from start to finish with this wave building. Now, they're saying October 14th was the official date of the opening. Let's look at what that is. Okay, there you go. Wow. I never know what I'm going to find when I open up these dates, you guys. But there is the proof right there. There is the proof. 8778. That is the halfway point to 9/11 was 1987. This building opened just weeks after 9/11. And look at this. In leap years, it's the 288th day of the year. We just told you about the 88s. So this architect knows what's going on. If he doesn't, God help his soul. Another sign was that this man was born on the 209th day of the year. And when you look at his anti-birthday, you get 156th day of the year. And this is his anti-birthday, which in its of itself is a mirror. 6'5" is 5'6". 6'5" is 5'6". You can't make this up. This man is a mirror within his own life. So when I tell you guys that this world is, we're born into the eyes of good and evil. We're born into sin, and we make choices based on, are we going to do good or are we going to do evil? And then everything else manifests out of that. But we are born into this mathematical system of which we cannot escape. Here's some shots of the building. We cannot escape. The only escape is Jesus Christ. Plain and simple, you guys. And if you haven't understood that to this point, there's not much I can do to help people, because we've proven the mathematics of the matrix. We've proven it. We've proven how these things are manifesting and ruled by good and evil actions. Here's some shots inside of the building. It actually looks like the inside of a giant cruise liner. If any of you have been on a cruise ship before, these shots of this building cutting through the water. There's the aerial view of it. Looks like two ships actually form a cross, like the Antichrist. So this goes on. Let me make sure you guys are still connected. Much love to everybody that could show up, and there are all the people coming to the lake for the holiday weekend. I'm glad you guys are seeking truth instead of, I mean, it's good to have a little fun, but all the energy and the crowds, that's not of Christ, you guys. And fighting for first place in line and the traffic and, no, not good. All right, you guys, I'm going to be back in the chat here now and see if you guys have any questions. This is going to be our screenshot. I'll probably tweet this out so you guys can see this. And you guys will have that on Twitter. And I'm just going to see if you guys have any questions pop in the chat. Shout outs to CB, Laura, Wayne, Hems, good morning. Yeah, that's great. We got a good little crowd, Hems, today. That's awesome. Heather, Christian says duende means gnome-like garden. Wayne, Envy, Life, Jill, X, Laura, Run to Christ. Good work, Run to Christ. I've been watching your channel. I did a shout out to D13 Watchman. Hopefully we can get together. I guess he does a live hangout on Friday nights. Man, that guy and I are on like the exact same page. Really cool stuff. And I know he's must have seen my work because a lot of his work is the same as my work. And it could just be the Holy Spirit. Maybe he hasn't seen my work, but I'm just glad that the truth is out because that's what we're all here for, you guys. Susan, female J, God has all brought us together. Yes, he has. Holly, shout outs to Holly and all the hard work she does to try to spread the truth. Albert, Jerry, good morning, you guys. Robert, listening from Thailand. Welcome, Robert. Now, I did align that 266 degrees of the building to see where it pointed. It almost pointed to ground zero, which would have been like a lock, but it was north of that. So it looks like it went across the Atlantic and maybe hit England somewhere. I should probably extend the line, but it didn't look like it really hit anything. But I think his intention was just to align it to 266 degrees, matching the 66 meters, matching the 9/9, September 9th announcement that of its opening and so on and so forth. Morning, Heather. Good morning, Laura. So thanks you guys for showing up. I think we're going to cut it off at that. We'll guys get this shared and up and on your Facebooks and so on and so forth. And we'll get this started. Much love, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care and be safe.